Hi, I'm Tim and this is Timberway Designs. I started a series of videos where I cut rocks in half, common rocks anybody can find. These rocks have been coming from public beaches and I just pick them up because I make cabochons and I look at them and if they look like they're capable, of producing a nice cabochon, I'll pick it up and put it in my bucket. So I have 10 rocks here. We're going to cut them in half and see what's inside. So let's take a look at them. So these are the rocks I selected to cut in half for this week. So we'll start at the top here and work our way around. So this one here looks like it's got an epidote. Actually, you can kind of see it's got a little crystallization stuff going in there, and a little quartz, and maybe a chunk of basalt, or I think so, I'm not sure. Let's get it wet. So you can see why I picked this one up. It's got some pretty good color stuff going on in there. Okay, this one here looks like a jasper with some quartz maybe, I'm not sure. Let's get it wet. Looks like a chunk of quartz. I don't know. I think I was kind of hoping there's a little bit of here. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping it goes through the center. That would make an interesting looking cabochon. This one here has got a little green stuff going on it. Maybe it could be a amygdaloidal. Let's look at that. It's got a couple green looking spots, kind of a reddish going on. Little, I thought that was like a calcite pocket or something. I don't know. It just had a lot going on. We'll take a look inside. This one here looked like quartz and feldspar. A little green stuff maybe. Get it wet. Yeah. Maybe some mica, black mica, I'm not sure. Okay, this guy here, I have not done anything to this, and look at the shine on this. This is just from running up and down the beach. It's got a little green spot on the end, epidote, I think. Get it wet. So that should make an interesting cab if this goes inside, not just sitting on the surface. This one here, I think is a piece of granite. Thought it looked pretty interesting. Dark spot in the bottom there. Some quartz chunks. I don't know. We'll see if it makes a good cabochon. We'll just see how it cuts. So got a amygdaloidal here. Looks like some epidote mixed in there. Basalt and epidote. I'm hoping the pattern is pretty cool on the inside. Right, this one here, I think it's got a big chunk of hematite on the bottom right there. So let's get it wet. See, I think that's big gob of hematite, and I don't know what the other host rock is. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, a little rhyolite. I don't know what the light colored stuff is. Little jasper right down here. And this one, we've got some black sparkly stuff going on in here, possibly mica, probably mica, and some quartz on the end. So I think this would make an interesting cabochon. And this guy in the middle here, amygdaloidal basalt. It's got this big gob of quartz or calcite on the end, I'm not really sure. I'm just kind of curious how deep this penetrated into the rock. So looks like even like it's got a little bluish green stuff going on here. So let's gather these guys all up and we'll take them downstairs and cut them in half and see what they look like on the inside. Okay, I'm down here on my 10-inch lapidary high-tech trim saw. They call it, I call it a slab saw because I can slab on this thing. I've been getting comments, not a lot, just a couple, of people that are concerned about me cutting myself on this blade here. This blade is about as sharp as a butter knife. I'm rubbing my finger on it right now. And it's not sharp. It's got tiny little diamonds in there, thousands of them, in a metal substrate. The metal wears away, exposing new diamonds, and the diamonds are what cuts the rock, not the metal. So it's, like I said, it's just like a butter knife, so it's got diamonds in it. So let's get started. First, I'm going to dress the edge. I use a old piece of grinding wheel, kind of sharpens it a little bit. Let's run it through there about 3 times. That's plenty. Now my blade's got a little wobble to it. I've used it, and I'll be replacing it soon. So this is the first one up here, and I think we're going to run it through just like that. Okay, I'm kind of hoping this goes into the rock. Let's take a look and see what's up. That kind of goes into the rock. Might be able to do something on this side of the cabochon. Okay, next up we got this one here. I think I'm going to cut it through just like that. Alright, this might be kind of interesting. Oh, good. It does go all the way through. So that's going to make a cool cab right there. Alright, got this piece of Ep7. Looks like in quartz. I don't see any basalt or rhyolite. I think we're just going to run it through just like that. Alright. That's kind of, yeah, the Ep7 looks like almost crystallized running through there. Cool. Alright, we've got this one here. Got a little green tinge going to it. I think I'm going to run it through like this. I'm really curious on this one. Okay, got a couple green thingies and some lines running through there. Alright, got this piece of granite here. I think I'm going to run it through. Let's think. I think I'm going to cross cut it like this because I want to see how this that dark stuff goes up in there. Alright, here we go. Ah, cool. Okay, so it does go up in there a little bit, and that looks kind of neat. We'll take a closer look at that upstairs. Alright, this is one I'm interested in. You can see it good now. That's all hematite right there. That's metal. So let's we're gonna split it just like this. Actually, I'm gonna go just like that. No, I think I'm gonna go just like this. Alright, let's see what we got. Well, it kind of goes inside there. I thought maybe the whole cap was capped on the end. Okay. It does look kind of neat though. Alright, got this orange rock here. Quartz and feldspar, and I'm going to split it lengthwise just like that. Okay, these are always nice on the inside, but let's see if this one don't disappoint. Ooh. I'm liking that. I hope these are just lines in there, not cracks. Okay, we got this jasper with this green spot in the middle. Let's we'll just split it right down the top edge there. Okay, does the green go into the rock? That's the question. And yes, it does. A lot of cracks though. Okay, we got this nice little, almost pre-tumbled, polished piece of rhyolite with some, I don't know if that's epidote or breccia or what. Let's we'll just run it through just like that. Okay, we're gonna score with this inside the rock or not? No. Just a chunk of rhyolite with something on the outside of it. Finally, got this epidote basalt, and yeah, I'm just gonna run it right down the middle. Okay, last one. Let's see what we got. Ooh, it does go through. Awesome. All right, we're going to go upstairs, kind of take a closer look and talk about it. The other thing I want to mention to you, the people that worry about me cutting my fingers, when I'm running a rock through here, I start it and then it goes to 7 times normal speed. So, you know, it goes fast, so you know, you don't fall asleep while you're watching this video here. So there's a lot of time I can move my fingers around because it's such a slow process. So keep that in mind when you guys are worried about me cutting my fingers. So let's go upstairs and take a look at these. So we just come upstairs from the rock saw. Got a bag of rocks here. Let's spread them out and let's take a closer look at them. All right, we got this week's rocks right here. Got a nice little selection. So in not any particular order, we'll just start at the top here. I'm going to dunk it in. I got a little bowl of water here on the side to get some of the crumbs off of it. So this is amygdaloidal basalt. It had this stuff growing on it, or filling the cracks here. Looks like I was kind of hoping, and this kind of looked cool here, I thought maybe that would go inside, but I was kind of hoping it would penetrate the rock a little farther, and not really, I guess. I mean, it's in there. I'll make a cabochon out of it, and I'll probably incorporate some of this stuff here into that, but yeah. You know, that's the beauty of picking these things up. You just don't know. You know, sometimes it goes all the way through, and sometimes it don't. So that's that there. So this is, I think, a feldspar and a quartz. When I cut it downstairs, I thought it was all busted up. I don't think it is. I think that's just filled fractures or whatever. I mean, I'll shine the light on it. I don't see any cracks, apparent cracks in there. But I think that'll make a cool looking cabochon. There's quite a contrasting colors in there. Got some black running through there. Quartz, different shades. Yeah. Hope I said feldspar instead of rhyolite. I always mess that up. Okay, this one here was a piece of granite. And it had this dark patch underneath, and I cut it. And I kind of like it. It's got a little pink going right here in the center here. And it's just, I mean, it is almost just as smooth as glass. Like, it should make a really cool looking cabochon. Kind of grainy, but I think we're going to do good on that. All right, this next one, I don't think we're going to do any good with this. It cut fast. I don't think that's epidote. I don't even know what it is. To me, it's like hard sandstone almost. We'll make a cabochon. You know, I'd like to think that that's a little epidote streak running through there, but I'm not really sure. I don't even know why I picked this thing up, but probably because I saw that portion of it right there. So now this one here, I got high hopes for this guy. I like this. It almost looks like it's got a bluish tinge to it. It's got some nice color. Went deep into the rock, and it looks even kind of neater when you cut it open. It looks almost bluish, but I think it's like a gray. But I think that'll make a really nice cabochon, and it's another one that's just nice and smooth. So I'm excited for this one. This one here has some epidote. Sometimes the epidote, sometimes it's smooth, you know, kind of like this, except green. And sometimes it's almost flaky, mossy or feathery, or, you know, there's some of the words for it. And that's what I'm seeing in here. So if it penetrates all through this quartz here, I think that'll make an interesting cabochon. Yeah, you can kind of see, I don't know how close, how it's kind of mossy right there. All right, this one here, this was a piece of rhyolite that had this big green, I don't know if that's prehnite, because usually prehnite is kind of a milky green and it'll have bits of flecks of copper in it. This one don't. And it's got a lot of fractures in it. But I'll try to make something out of it. Almost, that's kind of feathery too. I'm looking through the camera, but when I look around the camera, I can see right along in here, it's kind of speckly with the jasper that's mixed in with this rock here. So I was kind of hoping it penetrated all the way through, but no. Well, maybe it does just through right here. I'm not sure. But it's kind of a bluish, greenish. So I'll try to see what I can do with it. Now this one here, this one I'm interested in because it had a big gob of hematite on the bottom of it. Right there. That's metal. Well, maybe, yeah. Looks like metal anyways. And it goes inside of it too. It's all on the end right there. So I should be able to get two nice cabs out of this. Now, the rest of the rock, I'm not really sure if that's a jasper, chert, or quartz. I'm probably going to lean towards a quartz because it's almost translucent. And these spots are kind of floating inside of it. But I think it'll make, one of them is going to make a really nice cabochon. So we'll have to, next week we'll see. Now this piece of rhyolite with the green on the end, that was, you know, it happens sometimes and it's just on the outside, right on the edge there. So I'll still make a cabochon out of it, and I'm pretty sure it'll shine really good because it was already shiny when I picked it up. But rhyolite and, I don't know, epidote maybe, I'm not positive. So, and finally, got this piece of epidote, or amygdaloidal with epidote running through it. And these are kind of cool sometimes. You know, sometimes the epidote's solid, but sometimes it's kind of, I think, brachiated. I don't know how you pronounce that, but it looks like it was all busted up and then it got glued back together. And that's what I'm seeing on the inside right here. So we'll try to master a cabochon out of this stuff here. I think it'll be, I think it'll look nice. Get the right shape. Here. So there's the rocks for episode 7 already. So what we'll do is I'll make a cabochon out of each one of these rocks here, and then I'll show that on the next episode. So on this episode, I made, from cabochons out of the rocks on episode 5, and we're going to look at them here in a minute. So those of you that have been watching my series, you know now I've been taking the rocks from the previous episode and making cabochons. I make cabochons. I got another series that I go through the process of making a cabochon. So I'll make cabochons out of those, and then I'll bring those to the end of this current episode. So this is episode 7, so you're going to see episode 6 cabochons because I can't make them that fast. I'd like to put them on the same day, but it takes a little time to make them. So let's take a look at these cabochons from episode 6. And if you haven't seen them, you know, you can go back to episode 6. I'll put a thing up on top here you can click on it, and it'll take you to episode 6. You can see these rocks being cut in half. So I'm going to show you a cabochon and the other half of the rock for comparison. So let's get them up on the plate here and take a look. So these are the rocks from the previous episode, episode 6, where I cut them in half, and then I take a half and I cut out and make a cabochon out of them. So I'm going to show them in the order that they were sawn. So this is the first rock, and it had kind of a little fortification, agate looking thing kind of going on in the middle there, so that kind of interested me. So that's what the outside looks like. This is dry rock here. So this is the cabochon I made out of it. Can you see the fortification? You can really see it on the back. That's the thing. I thought maybe it would pop through a little bit more on this side here. Yeah, it got a pretty good finish, nice and shiny. You can kind of see a little bit of the fortification there. So there's the cabochon, there's the rock. Okay, the next one was this amygdaloidal or vesicular basalt. It's got it had a couple holes in it. So, and it had this orange white calcite thing. I thought maybe it was kind of agate. So I made a cabochon out of the other side. Take a look at it closer. Got a pretty good shine. Rhyolite usually shines pretty good. The orange didn't pop through like I had hoped it would on this side here. But I got some other interesting stuff there going on. The back side. So there's the original rock. There's the cabochon. Move the light a little closer. All right. This is the third cut. This rock here, you know, I was leaning towards amygdaloidal, but I'm not really sure. It got some pinkish stuff going on here, and I thought this was maybe a rhyolite or something, but it's really mixed up on the inside. Had a lot of fractures in it. Made a pretty cabochon though, nice and shiny with, you know, despite the fractures. I like the pattern, and if you get into it real close, you can almost see some fortifications right in there. But you got to look at it close to see those. There's the back. There's the front. Nice shine. And there's both of them right there. All right. All right, this one here was amygdaloidal or vesicular, I don't know, with the prehnite on the end down here. And it kind of threw the rock. I was kind of hoping this prehnite went all the way through the rock, and it didn't. So, and the thing that's cool about prehnite, you won't be able to see it here, but there's little flecks of copper in there, real tiny ones. Actually, I can see one right there, but I don't know. I don't think you're going to be able to see it. I can make it flash a little bit right there, but that's pure copper. So here's the cabochon. Got a little prehnite on the bottom here, more of it on the back. Shined up pretty good for rhyolite. The prehnite shined really good. Rhyolite okay. So there's the cabochon. So there's the original rock. And there's the cabochon. All right. This one here I was kind of excited about. This is another amygdaloidal with a streak of epidote running through it. And like I said, a lot of times you cut them in half and you're hoping the streak goes through the rock, not just be on the outside, but this one went through the rock. And it made a really pretty cabochon. There's back. There's front. And actually the basalt, sometimes you can get a really good shine on that stuff. I mean, it's not going to be like super glass, but it's pretty shiny regardless. So there's the one half and there's the other half in a cabochon form. All right. Here's another amygdaloidal. You can tell I pick up a lot of these things. Calcite, I believe, rhyolite, and it went all the way through the rock really nice. Here's the cabochon I made out of it. I thought I had a pretty good pattern on it. That was kind of neat. Got a nice shine out of it. So here's the one half, here's the other half. All right, this is the one I was really excited about. This is a piece of granite and it had this stripe running through it. You can see it on this side here, and it had kind of a bluish fleck to it. And mica and feldspar or whatever makes granite up. And it made a really pretty cabochon. Got a really nice shine out of it, nice and smooth. I wish more of the blue fleck, gray, wherever that stuff is, would have been on the front. But I mean, there's plenty there to appreciate it. Yeah, made a pretty cabochon. So there's the original rock, and there's the cabochon. So this is the other one I was really interested in. I called it a sedimentary rock, but I don't know. I might have to change that to a granite because it's got a lot of granite type qualities in it, and I have no idea what this black stuff is, but it's in there and it looks really nice. So this is the cabochon I made out of it. There's your black, the back side. Got some quartz going in there. I don't know what the green stuff is. I thought it shined pretty good. This side here got a, not super shiny, but the quartz is freaking awesome. So there's the original rock. There's cabochon. All right. This one here, I'm still not sure what this stuff is. It had some orange feldspar maybe, I don't know, some mica. It was smooth, it had some green spots in it, but I'm not sure. But it made a pretty cabochon though. There's cabochon. The shine was okay. It's got some little tiny weeny cracks in there. I mean, it kind of kills the shine a little bit, but still, for that, it's still got an awesome shine on it. There's back side. There's front side. There's original rock. There's cabochon made out of it. And finally, got this another amygdaloidal, and I want to call this galaxy stone because it's got all these little specks and spots, and I'm sure there's prehnite in there because I almost positive I saw a little chunk of copper in one of the bluish greenish spots. And it made a really pretty cabochon. I was quite impressed. I can hang on to it there. Got a nice shine out of it. Got a little pink blob right in the middle there. It does kind of look like outer space. So There's the back. There's front. And there's both halves of that rock. One's the original, one's a cabochon. So I hope you enjoy that I can show you that I can make cabochons out of these rocks. All these cabochons, I'll put them on my Etsy page. The link is down below in the description. If you're interested in them, they'll be there. So, yeah. So this is episode 6 rocks showing on episode 7. I hope that's not too confusing. I think sometimes it confuses me. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the rock cutting segment of this. Saw some interesting stuff. And I hope you enjoy me showing cabochons made out of rocks from the previous episode. I know it's get kind of like that, but I'd like to make the cabochons out of today's rocks I cut in half, but I just don't have time to cut the rocks in half, make 10 cabochons, and then try to film this thing. I don't have enough time for that. So I appreciate you watching. I want to thank my subscribers for coming back and checking out my content. I really appreciate that, and I hope you keep coming back because I got a lot more rocks to cut. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. I got this thing here that flies by, and to subscribe is free. And then if you can slide over and give me a thumbs up, get the analytics out there so more people can see my content, I'd really appreciate that too. Like I said, all these rocks are going to end up on Etsy, probably not till next week. I'm getting kind of behind on that. That's a whole nother thing. I could probably make a video on how that is. And then I got more rocks for next week, and I got some exotic rocks, kind of, you know. And speaking of rocks, none of these rocks, I don't buy any of these rocks. They're all picked up, you know, on a public beach. Anybody can pick these rocks up, except I got them first. They went in my bucket and came home with me. So, you know, I want to try to keep it that way. I like doing the common rocks, and I like to see if I can make something cool out of a common rock, i.e. the cabochons. So thanks again for watching. That's all I got, and I'll catch you later.